And we are back for more of Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth. Hope you guys are having a good day. Hit that subscribe button if you are new, and let's get back into the investigating. We are going to go, I think, right here, right? That looks like a bullet hole to me. So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh? For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in the firearm's spine indicates that the fire will we ransacked after the shooting was occurred. Then I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? I would say this one right here. I mean, of course it is. Is that the one right there? Is that? Rika! There is clearly a contradiction here with the bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? That would be logical. The victim leaned against the shelf here after he being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption, and it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. The assumption that caused this problem with the bullet holes. The order of the files. It has to be, right? It off. That means it put them back in the wrong... you mean I put them back in the wrong order now? Hey, actually I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh. Yeah, you see here how the files that were shot begin with the number 0? What they're doing all along the way down there, after 1, 2, and 3. That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They are all exactly as I've seen them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order, sir. Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in the order when the crime occurred. So that's it. I believe the killer made the incorrect assumption and just did as you did, detective. Let's rearrange the files in the numerical order and see what we find out. Do you think it'll be okay to prop the body back up how it was before we moved it? I finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it would be. Please just finish processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoes. That is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith, then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly. And they proceeded to shoot the victim. But why? Why would someone kill a man and then look through the files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime. But why? Now that the crime scene is as it was the time of the murder, time to give it another look. The hole is now where it should be. Oh, okay. On there in blood. I'd say it's some incredibly incriminating evidence. I'd say it's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative criminal activity indeed. No, wait, there's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, say something, sir! My files were stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is that what the killer was really after? Yay! Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me! You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you are going to accuse Detective Gumshoes of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words, they're more than just enough. What you say? If that's how you want to play, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. And there must be some sort of flaw in his logic waiting for me to dig out. Yeah, I want to hear this logic. I'm going to cross-examine him. Once way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? Maybe some other time. Mr. Portsman, if you are ready. If you don't have time, you could just say so, sir. Take the Gumshoes, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you were committed the theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body so they would sit in front of the bookshelves. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters in the body his body was hiding. And it will all be his final words that you will be brought to justice. None of that made any sense. None of that made any sense at all. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer. I can hear Jim's voice and him calling for his killer's arrest. You are sure you were mishearing your words, Mr. Portsman? There is no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic, and expose him with credible evidence. There is flaw in your logic. Bringing a bit of courtroom into this, I see. No problem, my game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking, I get it. Ha 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 ha. If you have the time to laugh, then you have time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see it may be direct if I may direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible. What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. This file on the shelves all about certain cases. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spine. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detected names where the file should be as proof. Yeah, I mean the S is gone, and there's only half of an H. If Detective Gunshoes really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on this file. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. What does that mean, you make this dying message? It makes the work of a criminal intent of tampering with the crime scene. Sir? I'm going to get him, sir. You'll say I'm going to have them under arrest in no time. Well, Mr. Portsman? Ha 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 ha, brilliant, absolutely splendid. Largely deserving of Olympic gold medal. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. You win some and you lose some, that's how life goes. Glad everything is so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. Ah, but you know, really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however. What is the time? This time. Are you really after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal. Really did. I acknowledge your innocence. Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? Did you know there is one other person with the key to this office? One other person? Hey, you there. Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me. Now he's gonna pin it on a female now. A lady? The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as the material witness. Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal. Don't. What's wrong with him all of a sudden? Maggie. Bird, one watch tonight. Mrs. Bird, I'm sorry. I see your point. I see your point. And my point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all office doors in this building. What? What? If you're not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoes, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird. How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right. I refuse to believe that Maggie the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right. I did it. Can we take that as a confession, Detective? Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problem with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. Crime for one simple reason. Here we go. It snuck into the room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoes isn't the one who opened the door, then it leaves only Miss Bird as one prime suspect. On top of which she knows one good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable for her that she is one who faked the dying message. She used the master key. Dude, you are such a liar. And that is what you say. That's what you claim about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of the good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflex and reaction time, especially for the athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could use the master key. It seems that only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person on staff at the time at night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird? That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to at the supposed domain. Yes, moving on. I hate to go sidetracked, but something unrelated. What do you mean, unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal. But you can't really trust her. Should I hear Miss Bird? Not so fast. I am too interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time when we don't hear the... don't need to hear her lies? I will be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing all over at 1 AM, sir. What do you mean by missing? As in, I wasn't anywhere in the security... It wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. It's sportsman. I believe this must be an important piece of testimony, don't you, Mr. I can't believe that someone like you would be taken that in such by words. I'm not lying, sir. Know why you have the master key now? I don't quite know. I just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. A likely story. And what is the proof that your key was stolen from the begin with? I thought where you put them and found them again. I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Yeah, pal, trust me. You don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Unfortunately, I cannot deem this place a testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth. But... You still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. Her motive didn't we already establish that with the theft? It was theft? We clearly went through the bookshelves, at least tried the safe. If it is as Miss Portman says, Detective, I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive for theft. But I'm done taking blows in the time. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own. Let's grab the safe. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Objection! Oh. You wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth, after all. Also, by the logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but we must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe, the existence of which only privy to prosecutors. I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Yeah, even I didn't know about the safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about this either. Then you are proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. Prosecutor, do you have a different suspect in mind now? Justice, what made you... What is with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault. What do you mean? It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safes. What did you just say? We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him I'd filled him in on the secret safes. Then that means... Yeah, I know. I had only just told him to. Obviously, I was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it. But then, the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief. Tut. And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird? Excuse me? I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going to be a bit too far, even for your risky, even your risky profession. What? That? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder? Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was a self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard. Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have keys to the office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? He stole the master key. Aha! Dude is just losing it. You were honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief. I don't want to admit it, but the only way that for everything to make sense. Has he no honor? I think we're done here. The investigator waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out? Yeah, this is Mr. Edgeworth's office. But it is the one who's been assigned to it. But I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You are all suspects to varying degree, and therefore ineligible to run this show. Listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoes, calm yourself. But sir! We have no choice but to accommodate this request for now. Aha! Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourself from the crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portman. We will meet again. If that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now, don't disappoint me and you here. Well. Absolutely gonna save. Oh, goodness. That, I think, is a way to end episode 2. Thank you for hitting that and for checking this out. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, and we will do more. Later.